What's good, people? What's good? It's For the Lag of God podcast. And today we have Emilia Hart. What's good, Emilia?
I'm good. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. All right. So I'm just going to jump straight in with the first question, if that's cool with you.
Go for it, man.
All right. So if you could tell us, like, just a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. Oh God, it's like one of those get to know me questions,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
One of those little icebreakers.
Put you on the spot. Damn
Yeah.
right. I am in my 20s. I am from Southwest London originally, so I have massive ties to this area.
Yeah.
Started writing and singing properly singing when I was about 9.
Okay.
Um, got dragged by my hair to live in Dorset for a couple of years, but it turns out it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And then after a 10-year stint in Dorset, came back to London because, this is where it's at really. And
Yeah.
started writing again and stuff like that like a couple of years ago. And then just decided to, take the plunge, do it. Is what it is, isn't it?
Aye. Yep.
So yeah,
I
does that
agree.
answer your question?
No, that's good. In fact, actually, you kind of made nice little ties onto my other questions as well. So
Oh,
look at
great.
that, great minds, and all that. All right. So from there,
hmm
um, so what was it? You said you started at 9, right?
Yeah, started at writing and singing. I was singing before 9, but like when it actually started hitting me, I was like, oh, I might actually be able to sing. I was 9.
Yeah. So uh, um, at the age of 9, did you?
hmm
Was it something you did kind of through school, like music lessons, or was it something, or did you go and get like a singing teacher?
No, actually wasn't. Like I didn't have any of that. Like my
Yeah.
my family were not, I wouldn't say traditional, but they were quite, like back in the day, people, it wasn't, you didn't have that mindset that you have now where everyone's quite open minded and like if they're good at sport, focus on sport, like
Hmm.
etc. That kind of mindset. It was focused on my grades, and no one had worked out that I was severely dyslexic at that time. So I had like maths tutors and stuff like that. But I just sort of, I just did it by myself. Like my uncles and my mum's side of the family are very creative. They were in a
Hmm.
band. My granddad was in a band. Not that that's relevant now, but
Well,
they
it
were
still
all
plays a
really
part, doesn't
creative.
it? It's still
Yeah,
still
like
there. It's still
yeah,
heritage.
yeah, exactly. Like it's all there. Like every single one of them can play an instrument. So
Hmm.
it kind of just trickled from there, really. And I just remember loving it from the second I started listening to Peter and David playing guitar and like creating a band.
Yeah.
And it just went from there, really.
So who's Peter and David? Are they
Peter,
uncles? Or
they're uncles, yeah, they're uncles. They're my older uncles, but I'm quite close to them in age.
oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So yeah,
So yeah. So okay. And then you went to Dor- Dorset for 10 years, right?
yeah. So
And then
yeah, my mum moved me. Yeah,
yeah, and then you come back and was like, all right, let's give that a go. So we're gonna start from when you come back to London, yeah.
yeah.
So when you come back to London,
hmm
well, I don't know what year that was, but from whenever that was to until 2018 when you released Stronger, your first single,
Yeah.
like how did you feel kind of leading up to that? What were your thoughts, like motivation, that kind of thing, really?
What to do in the song?
Well, to doing the song, but also to taking the plunge to releasing it.
So when I finally got back to London, it was 2016. I came back, started working as a restaurant manager um, after traveling for a bit, and within a year, I just knew like it's always been in the background. Like I was just like I've always wanted to do it, but I just sadly never had the confidence for it. And I
Mm,
mean, I wasn't massively pushed for it either. I mean, apart from my partner Tom, who
yeah,
was the one who got me my first interface and stuff like that, that was one of the kickers. I left the restaurant in hospitality, went into a state agency because I was like, oh, maybe that's what I want to do. And then within 6, 7 months, I just realized I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing this. Like, and I just realized I was like, I love nothing more than music, which is when I met you.
yeah.
And I did the music course at Richmond
Yep.
College.
Yep.
And hence here we are. So I took like an administrator job so I could go home and start doing music. By this point, I had no idea how to use an interface because my uncles did it all. All I knew how to do was kind of write a song, but it was rubbish, if I'm honest. Like, the only thing I actually really had was I knew what sounded good. I could make things sound commercial naturally, and I had a good voice, apparently, from what I've been told. So
Hey, to be honest, like, to be a prick and cut you off right there, but a lot of people do compliment on your voice when I play you on the playlists.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, I'm like, I ain't blowing air up your ass just to be nice to you because I know you. Like, it's true. Like, a lot of people really like your stuff, and like, I do as well. Like, so yeah,
I hope so.
well, I don't have to, innit? But I do I do like your stuff, and a lot of people kind of look forward to when it comes on. I mean, yeah, like, I think I've been playing lessons for like, do you know what? I can't even remember how long I've been playing lessons for, but yeah, it still gets the same reaction. Do you know what I mean? So either way, like, you're doing something right, and like, the feedback that you get, you know.
Yeah, I've never had bad feedback from you, and like when I've because you know what my memories are like, whenever like I've tagged in, I'm like, oh no shit, I missed it, or like I've just caught in there and I've managed to hear it and I see people's comments. I'm not gonna lie, like, it lights, my smile could light up a room because
but that's
just
what it's
seeing people's
about.
reaction, and that's what it's about. Like, and people saying, oh, you know, I like the lyrics, or like I've had feedback from social media from people I've never spoken to before saying this bit really connected with me, and it's like, it's enough to make me cry.
Oh yeah,
like,
for real.
as an artist, that's what you want, right? You want to make that connection with someone you don't even know, because that's what I did when I was younger and I was listening to, I don't know, say JoJo or whoever. You'd hear a song, you'd be like, oh my god, that happened to me. This is the situation I'm singing about. So I mean, yeah, like you said, you probably know what I mean. Like, as an artist, that's all you really want.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Really.
Like, it doesn't, whether you reach like one person or 100 people, it doesn't matter. You still get that same feeling every time.
Yeah.
And especially
100%.
like, well, as you know, when people you don't know reach out to you and just be like, yo, that bit there, like, was just a massive wake up call, or that bit was like what I needed to turn it around, that sort of thing, and you're just like, fuck, like, I don't even know you, like, what the fuck? And like, all of a sudden you somehow change someone's life, and it's like, wow, okay, like, I need to keep doing this sort of thing.
Yeah, I know. It's just, yeah, it was just the first time it happened. I just literally, like, I had to sit down. I was like, oh my god, this is it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, is this it? Have I peaked?
Oh man, you just blooming. You're just blooming. I mean, like, from Stronger, when you released that, I remember when you released that. I don't exactly know the date, but I remember where I was when I heard it. I was on the bus to work, and I was like, oh shit. I think I played that song 3-4 times, and then I went and played it to the people at work as well, and I was just like, yo, listen to this. I know this girl. Like, yeah, I was just sat there, top of the bus, crammed in on the way to work, and I was just like, yeah, okay, this is nice.
That took so long. I say it took so long to record, like, it felt like it took ages because I thought it was going to sound one way, and it didn't. And I was so like, I think I went to the studio, I think it was 3 times in the end, and had like 3 6-hour settings, which by the end of 6 hours, your voice is buggered.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, because it was not, it was the oxygen bit where it was so high.
Yeah.
And it was not an issue for me. And I honest to God, I was like, I could carry on doing this all day. By like the 4th hour, I was like, apparently I can't.
Oh yeah, but that, like, knackered. Well, I'm not good at reenacting because my voice is too damn deep to reenact that. But like, it sounds like it's a strain as well. I mean, okay, you like, well, probably this is a question later on, but I mean, you probably do your warm ups and stuff. So obviously you know like how you can do it. But anyway, we're not gonna get to that question yet because I still got a little bit to go. So from 2018 when you did Stronger, and then 2019, like I think it was literally the exact day. Like, wasn't it like the exact day a year later you released Hold On? Didn't you?
No, so that was Hold On was March.
Yeah.
And then I didn't release anything because I was meant to release something, but I had a bit of a wobble, like, you know, when you're trying to confirm your sound, or I had something ready and I was just like, this isn't it. Like, I'm not in love with it. I'm not releasing it. Yeah. And then I just had a bit of a wobble during the summer and was like, okay, do I release an EP? Do I just wait? What do I do? And then it was almost a year to the day, actually. Like, I think it was a week or something like that, Lessons was released after Hold On.
Yeah, I know they all sort of come out about like the similar sort of time. And I was like, hang on, there's a pattern emerging here. Like, although I don't like, I knew that there was a pattern emerging, but I don't know. It felt like you released Lessons earlier than you did the other two. If that makes sense, it feels like you released Stronger and Hold On in like, I don't know, October, November, but then you dropped Lessons in April. February. Yeah. April. There we 16th.
Go. Yeah, because it was beginning of ISO, which I keep calling ISO, which means isolation. I don't know why I keep abbreviating it.
It's all right.
So yeah.
You know what it means. So yeah. So from when you released Stronger to releasing Lessons, how do you feel that has helped you grow?
Massively. Oh my god, like they're two very different songs, like lyrically. One's needing someone, the other one is I want you but I don't need you anymore. So
yeah,
mentally and emotionally, and I hate this saying because it makes it sound really cliche, but I went on a massive journey with myself and what I wanted out of life. And don't get me wrong, I'm nowhere near there yet, but I'm a hell of a lot clearer on it now than I was when I released Stronger.
Yeah.
And I would personally say mentally and emotionally stronger now, funnily enough.
Yeah.
A
little pun.
Little pun for you. But that's why I called this new one Lessons, because within for me, it seemed like a very small amount of time that I had learned so many lessons, not just about myself, but about the people that I'm around, the situations I want to surround myself with, and the people I want to surround myself with. Which is, again, like I said, like, it's why I called it Lessons. It's why I wrote it, because it's just like, you know, it's so different to Stronger, and it's different to Hold On as well. It's completely
different. Definitely.
It's basically, if you think about it, one's called Stronger, and it's saying I need you, and I literally need to breathe your air. The next one is called Hold On, basically saying, do we let go or don't we? And Lessons is going, nah, fuck it, it's all right, let it go.
Yeah.
So I personally say there's a lot of growth.
Yeah, I mean, like, considering you released them within a year of each other, basically, like they're kind of like your checkpoints, like milestones, as if you want to put it that way.
100% milestones, 100%. Definitely.
But yeah, I definitely understand about like the journey of what you want and stuff like that. That's something that I'm not exactly 100% there, but that's something that I've had to spend from about June last year. It was when I sort of started the journey, and that's something like I'm still there, like, okay, this is what I kind of need to do, this is what I think I need to do, and stuff like that. So yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree.
Yeah.
And
I think trying to figure it out and making that first initial step, that's the hardest part.
Oh, mate,
trust
me.
Putting the stuff into practice, isn't it? Like, for me, it's putting stuff into practice. Like, do I want to do this, or do I want to, I don't know, for example, react a certain way?
Yeah.
I still want to go back to my, I don't know, 21-year-old self and just lash out, because that's what I would do. I don't know if I would say emotional. I would just say I was so passionate about everything.
Yeah.
everything, all the time. And now I'm just sort of like, do you know what? If it's not pleasing me, if it, funnily enough, doesn't give me any joy, I can't be bothered. Like, I genuinely cannot.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't care who or what it is.
Oh no, no doubt, no doubt. Like the biggest kick in the balls for me to get it started was just because I'd seen everyone like at work go, oh yeah, I'm going to uni. I'm like, fucking hell, man. Like, and I'm sitting there feeling dumb as fuck. And I'm like, nah, I want to go to uni. Like,
I don't think I could go to uni. I don't think I get in.
oh no, you definitely could. I'll hook. I can hook you up with that. That's easy. Like, in fact, like I didn't really go to school. Yeah. Like I don't really have an education. I didn't bother doing music at school because I had no interest in music whatsoever. And then it wasn't until like 2008 when my friend was like, "Oh, I like the poetry you write. Do you reckon you could do it to music?" I was like, "Oh shit, okay, hang on, I'll see what I can do." And
That's
then,
a good idea.
So anyway, now to this present day, or till about last year, and I was like, no, I don't know. Like, there's like, you know, those what if moments, like, what if? And so I was like, okay, fuck it, let's give it a go. So, went down to Kingston University, with for an open day there, and then they basically were like, oh yeah, you can do this, you can do that. What are your grades? I was like, I didn't really go out of school, and they were like, did you do music? I said no. Like, all I've got is a city and guilds in plastering and some other stuff. And they were like, oh well, we don't know. And I was like, look, fuck off. And
see, this is the thing. I think they class everything on grades, and I feel like with the arts and like music and drama and stuff like that and dance, I don't feel like it can be measured on a grade. Like, I just don't even think it should be in the vocabulary.
Oh no, I totally agree with that. I totally agree.
Because I met a girl recently, and I won't mention her name in case she hears this, but like, I only met her last year, and she's quite a good friend of me now, and she comes over and we sing and stuff like that, and she's just getting started. She's me a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
She's never done music. She's never done any of this, but my God, can she sing? And that just proves it. It's like, do you know what I mean? I didn't get started till however old.
Yep.
So I can't, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's no.
Yeah.
So, I 100% get where you're coming from.
Yeah. So I went there and was like, look, I've got this music. Like, I even had my iPod and everything with me. I was like, look, I've got my music. You can listen. They were like, no, we need a grade. I was like, man, fuck this. So anyway, I remember this course my friend went on, and I remember I kept seeing the advert for it because I liked it about 5 years before. So for 5 years, its advert kept popping up, and in the end, I was just like, oh look, I'm gonna call them up. So I called up the uni that I go to now, which is under Westminster, and I was like, look, I don't have no grades or nothing. They were like, you don't need grades, all you need is work ethic. And I was like, oh shit, okay.
That's exactly what it's about. That's what it should be about. It's what I think is so wrong.
So I went there, and they were like, okay, what do you know? I was like, I can do this. I've done that. And they were like, yeah, okay, sweet. We'll give you a call. About a month or so later, got a call, and I was just like, yeah, you're in. I was like, sweet.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because I did a stint of, I think I was 19. I was still living in Dorset at this point. I wanted to go to uni, but now I think about it, I only wanted to go because one of my friends was going. And I didn't even know what I wanted to do. And then I think it was probably 4 months ago, before isolation, maybe 6, and I started looking into music because you went actually, and I was like, okay, maybe I could do it. I'd love a degree, and I may as well do it in something that I'm good at, and that I'm like, I could make something out of. Do you know what I mean? Because I was like, oh, maybe I could sack in the job and go and work in a recording studio, like whatever. Like, I just want to be around what makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I applied for a uni. It sounds really bad. I can't even remember what uni it is now. It's somewhere in Central. And I had a place booked, and I was going to the open day. And then I think isolation happened. I can't remember what actually happened. Because, you know, like, your days and months and weeks have just sort of merged into one now.
Oh, yeah. I like I said, I thought your song released in February. I didn't know it was April. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what's going on. I swear tomorrow's Christmas.
actually, I'm quite looking forward to Christmas. I love it.
Mate, like honestly though, the uni that I've joined, like, well, to be honest, we could talk about this more after, but I like
Yeah.
it's yeah, I reckon it will definitely help you. And I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm still talking with them now. In fact, they're the reason why I'm doing this. Is because I
Oh,
had an
really?
idea. I was like, look, I want to kind of have a go at this sort of thing. And then my teacher called me. Well, didn't call me, but we
Yeah.
booked a Google Meet, and he was like, okay, what's the plan? I said, that's the plan. And he was like, okay, go and look it up, and I'll talk to you next Friday. Okay. When I looked it up, did the research, all that crap. Did that for about a month, like meeting every week, and we still meet every Friday morning. Like we've been meeting for the last 4 months.
That's great.
Like just because he's been like, okay, look, you can do this. Okay, now you've done that. What about this? And it's just like, yeah, it's
Like
fucking
step-by-step support keeps you
yeah.
going.
And like I say, we'll talk about this more after because I feel it will really help you. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, let's go because I'm rambling. I'm rambling. But
Fine, Sarah.
oh fuck, hang on. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, so the you mentioned about like your uncles and stuff like that. Would you
Yeah.
say that they were probably your main influences for
Yeah.
getting into
100%.
music?
100%.
Mm.
100%. Don't even have to think about it. They were definitely like it was so because I left London. I think I was 12. I think I was 12. Yeah, I was just coming up to because I went to year 8 in Dorset, and that's in September, isn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah, I was 12 when I left, and I'd done 1 year at Teddington Secondary, um, and I just remember the whole time up until I left, everything that we did, like I would go over on weekdays, and then my dad would come and pick me up, but I wouldn't leave, and it was on a school
Yeah.
night, and I wouldn't leave till 11:30 because all I wanted to do was just sit up there, and they had mics and stuff like that, and back in the day, and you don't know what that is. I was like, oh, it's well impressive. That's well cool. I don't know what any of this is.
Yeah.
And they would just say, what's the song you like at the moment, Emmy? So I'd tell them, they'd learn it, and we'd sing it. And then it got to the stage where I would write things, and he would just play guitar. And it was back in the times where we used a video camera, and he would just, I'd love to find those tapes. He would just record on a video camera, start playing guitar. We would get a notepad out, and it's still actually kind of the way I record and write now. And I would just sing whatever came to my head. Some of it would be rubbish, which is 60% of it. 30% of it would be nice. And that's just all it ever was. And it was nice, it was simple, it was easy, it was carefree.
Yeah.
And realistically, that's all it ever should be.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
But
yeah, and if
we're adults, we know that that's not the case.
say that again, sorry.
But we're adults, and we know that that's not always the case.
Unfortunately, but that's just the way that people make stuff. Though I still believe you can make it carefree. It's just the way we put pressure on ourselves as we kind of grow. But it's still.
I'm the worst for that.
Oh, mate, trust me.
I had to take a break for like a month because I'd put so much pressure on myself to make something sound a certain way, or I wanted a release by this point. I was like, I'd actually taken the fun out of it, and I was stressing myself out.
Yep.
So I had to take a month off, and it worked well. And I came back to it, and I was like, oh, good, I love it again, because I just took the care out of it, which is really hard to do, and it sounds really difficult, and it is. But if you can do it, it's great.
I think like being able to kind of remember why. So like I don't know, maybe for you kind of be like remembering the times when you used to go to your uncles and do it like that. Like it's to sort of keep hold of like your inner child, the inner innocence of why you got into it.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Yeah, right.
In my head, I just try and remember I love it. That's it. Yeah. That's all it boils down to.
Definitely, man. Definitely. It's like if it. Well, I mean, as a creative, it's all you think about. I mean, like you probably think about random words when you go to sleep or when you wake up and you're like, oh Christ, now I've got to write them down and like.
Do you ever get them like when you're like the best place for songwriting is someone needs to figure this out, right? There needs to be a recording app in a shower because that's where the best stuff comes to.
To be
And I
honest,
can't write anything down because I haven't got any paper because it would get wet and I haven't got my phone. So I'm like, oh God, like mid-while washing my hair going, trying to remember it. And then I get out and I'm like, oh, it's gone.
you need to get yourself one of those recorder things. I can't remember what the fuck they're called now.
Yeah, but what, in the shower? It's going to have to be waterproof.
Well, not really. I mean, just like, I don't know, put it on the sink or something. Like, I mean, if it was my bathroom and I was singing in the shower, I'd just put it on the sink, or I'd put it at the other end of the bath, because I know the water's not going to go to the other end of the bath. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to brag and say my bath is big. My bath is tiny, but like when you're in a shower, it's only going one way. So you know, like if the water goes the other way, you're pissing about.
Yeah, well.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, you need to get yourself one of those recorders. That way you can put it on, walk in, put it on, do what you got to do, and then when you walk out, turn it off, and then that way you've recorded the entire bath time. Like,
that's true, but then also it could sound rubbish, or what I'm singing could be rubbish, but the acoustics in a bathroom are always great, so everything always sounds good. So you have two issues there. Is it shit? We don't know. We're never going to know.
Oh, yeah, but then that's the thing. You know that if you go back and listen to it, and that bath time was crap, you'd be like, okay, right, what's next bath time bringing? Then next bath time comes, and you're like, right, let's sing this. Then you get out, you listen to that, and you think, fuck me, that was actually really good. Right, grab a mic, grab the laptop, gonna sit on the John, and just sing.
I'm gonna move my studio.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone should just have a bathroom studio.
That's what I'm trying to touch on. I'm copywriting that, by the way.
Hey, I said it first, and I have proof,
no,
so that's
didn't.
intellectual property.
To figure this out.
That is my PRS.
No, we can work on that together. No way.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the money that would make?
Yeah, make your own in bathroom studio.
It'd be great.
Oh yeah, unless you've got a really tiny bathroom.
Well, maybe the acoustics would be even better.
I don't know.
Depends what your soundproofing's like.
I'll leave the acoustics to you. You probably know more about the acoustics than I do, especially with the whole singing thing.
Yeah, vocally maybe you can do the sound control and all of that.
I don't know. We'll do it together. You've just started production, so you know why not?
True. I really enjoy it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Like I used to. Do you remember? I'd come over and I'd be like, I hate this.
No,
I physically hated it.
So what changed your mind on it?
I went for a music session with my engineer Marlon Percy, who, if anyone listens to this, you need to check him out. He's incredible.
Yeah.
So I went over for a session at his studio, and I knew like it was too late. It wasn't too late to cancel. I can always call him and just like be like, listen, Ma, I'm not feeling it, and he'd be like, yeah, no worries, we'll just do next weekend or whenever. There's never any pressure with it, which is why I've stayed with him, and it's always relaxed. He makes me so comfortable. And I think I was trying to sing and it just wasn't. I couldn't get it. Like every artist has this at least once. If you say you don't, then you're obviously a way lot better than I am.
Or a liar.
And I just or a liar. And I'm gonna go with a liar and make myself feel better.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just couldn't. Yeah, like vocally, I couldn't get anything out properly. Like I hadn't been very well the week prior, and I thought I'd fixed it, and I was drinking whiskey to try and get rid of the bacteria. I was having gin to just knock a couple back and thinking maybe that'll do something. Clearly, I thought alcohol was the solution. It wasn't. Like cough sweets, vocal zones. Have you had vocal zones?
I haven't, but I know what you're on about.
Well, they are pretty blinding for like short-term performance.
Yeah.
And so I took probably 3 or 4 of those. It didn't happen. And I said, why don't you just teach me how you make a song? Like, I want to do that. I know how to write and do all that. And we just did a production lesson. I think it was in the end, it was 7 hours, 7, 8 hours. which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're just constantly, you know what it's like when you're in a studio, you are just focused. You don't have your phone on, no one can contact you. It is just, you're blinded to everything. We had probably 3 5 to 10 minute breaks, and then we just go and keep going. And he just taught me how he did it and his method, because I only learn by doing it. And I knew that, so I just said, let's just do that. And then I was writing notes. I'm such a, like, if I write something down, I remember it. So I'd put like, right, okay, so I need to find a chord or some form of progression that I really like, then try and put an instrument under it, then, you know, a drum line, maybe put another drum line under it. By the way, my vocabulary is awful, so what I'm saying may not make sense to you.
That's all right. I'm with you.
And then, like, I'd go for a bass, and then, you know, try and figure out. I'd basically just put them all on top of each other, make sure they make sense, and then I would arrange them and filling any missing bits, like kicks, snares, all of that kind of stuff. And it just started from there. And it took me, I did my first one on my own. That took me, I think it was like 5 days, but all in all, it was like 6 hours. I didn't really engineer it or like do the mixing, because you're good at the mixing. I'm okay.
I don't know if I'm good at mixing, but yeah, that's something we'll have to test out. We'll have to test that out.
You know, well, I'm OCD, so like I'll check it, and then one thing could be wrong, and I'll ruin the whole thing because of one little tiny discrepancy on like a snare, and it's not hitting where I want it to hit, or it's a millisecond late or whatever, and it just doesn't, like, I can't get it to hit the pitch. Because you know what I'm like, I've said to you before, haven't I? I'm like, I don't like the pitch of this, let's change this, and blah blah blah. I'm so specific because I can hear it in my head. But sometimes, you know, you have to adapt, but you know, we're all learning.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I mean, I know the 8 hours thing, like when you have production days at uni and you're there all day literally learning about EQ, and you go home and your head is killing you. And you're just like, man, what the fuck? So yeah, I know about them.
100%.
So that 100%. With that as well, going back to like basically the early days of jamming with your uncles, is that also what got you into playing guitar as well, or was that something you wanted to do?
Yeah, no, it was, well, I say wanted to get me into it. Like, they had them, and I would kind of just walk upstairs, go into the rooms, take the guitar, and just pretend that I could play guitar, and it was tone deaf. My poor grandparents. It was awful. But yeah, I never actually really had guitar lessons. They sort of just taught me the 5 major chords. And I'm not an incredible guitar player, let's be honest, but I can play a tune, you know, I can play what I need to play, and I think that's all that really matters, if I'm honest. Like, I say all that really matters. Obviously, my friend is an incredible guitarist, and it shocks me every time I see him and he plays for me, and I just think it's amazing. But I mean, I had lessons recently, actually, because I wanted to touch on finger picking and stuff like that. And I have really small hands, and they're really dainty, and that it hurts a lot, which sounds really, really girly, like, oh, blisters and stuff like that. But
but that's the thing. Like, you got to, what is it? The calluses and stuff. You got to build up the skin for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I had like a skin infection last year from, I think it was November until January, for 3 months, and like my hands were red raw all the time, blistered, and I couldn't play for months. And I'm playing again now, but I couldn't play for months. So, but they are 100% what got me into it. I just used to steal their guitars. I didn't really ask them, to be honest.
That's fair. I think when you're little, you just kind of go out and pick something up, and then if you get told off, you get told off, innit, basically.
Yeah, it never happened to me though.
It's the adventure of it. It's the adventure.
Yeah. That's true. Very much.
Very much so. Yeah. So on that as well, whether it's production or singing, or when you go to your studio sessions, do you have a process that you go through to get yourself in the zone?
to go record it. To go.
Well, yeah,
record.
either like, do you and your producer have like a process? Like, I don't know, some people like to go for coffee beforehand and talk about what they want to do or that sort of thing. Or do you like?
We're quite good with this. Like, I talk to him quite a lot. Like, we've been speaking through isolation, stuff like that. Mainly, I'd say the only process is that I will have written the song before I get in there, and I'll hear it in my head and I hear how I want it to sound. The chances are we've already co-produced. Like, he'll have either produced something with me in mind, or that hasn't happened in a while, to be fair. I'll have produced something as well and written something to it. I'll take both to him. We'll have discussed it through the week, and I'll just say, okay, these are the lyrics. Not happy with this bit. Want to change that. Can't hear it in my head, because this is the thing. Because he's also an artist, he'll hear it another way, and he'll go, okay, try this. And more often than not, I'll go, I love it, and I'll think it's great. And he's actually on lessons. He's on the harmonies on the chorus, and it sounds amazing with him on there. Like, I genuinely can't imagine it without him. The only thing he has a cat called Milo, and he's always in the studio. We always have a cup of tea, have a chat for like half an hour before, and just sort of like get into the zone of it. And after about 2-3 hours, I'll have a drink.
Yeah.
And just sort of, I don't want to say loosen up, like, because I'm very relaxed with him. But yeah, the only thing we have is Milo's in the studio. He'll be sat at the main chair. I'll sit at the back, in the sort of like sweet box of where the speakers are pointed at, so I can hear everything. And we go over everything first, and then that's kind of it. It's really easy flowing. Like, there's nothing massively, like, you know, you hear some people, like, apparently Michael Bublé, before he goes on stage, he smokes a 10-pack. Like, I don't have anything like that. Like, nothing really cool, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
it's quite basic.
Well,
I don't know about you.
So what about? Well, you could. So with that as well, you could say, like, what about when you do it yourself, like at home, when you record and produce for yourself?
It will always be an evening. It's never a daytime thing.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Mainly because I close all the curtains, close all the blinds, lock the doors. I don't know. I feel like I like to be alone if I'm doing it. I like to be alone, and I like to have the world completely shut out. The chances are I'll have lit candles. I'll have my obviously, because I've got MacBook. I'll have that up. I'll have my notepad and a black pen, always black. Don't know why, because I don't like blue pens, and either and probably whiskey on ice.
That sounds all right.
And that's my only sort of comfy clothes. I've learned, don't do it in jeans.
Yeah.
It makes you so uptight. But I'm not gonna lie, like having a couple of drinks. Obviously, don't get drunk by yourself, because that's sad. But if you do, it's fine. It's just an accident. And just sort of go through it. On that, half the time I won't even know what I'm going in to sing. I'll just choose something, and whatever it feels like, and I'll go from there.
Just go with a vibe.
Basically. Because it depends on the mood that day, doesn't it? Like, you could feel happy, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I don't want to sing the song about, I don't know, for an example, when my dad left or something like that. My dad didn't leave, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't go and sing.
When you're happy, you don't want to sing a sad song.
Yeah, no. I mean, when I'm sad, I don't, or I'm having a down day, I don't want to sing a happy song. Yes, I want to get out of that mood, but I also need to acknowledge the fact that I'm sad. And if I'm sad, the chances are I'm going to write a better sad song.
Yep.
So, and there we go.
Hey, that's all right, though. That's all right. I understand that. Like, there's times where I sit down and I think, oh, I really want to do this type of beat, and then I don't, and it ends up completely different. Or
yeah, all the time.
Yeah, you never really sit down and do what it is that you want to do. You always end up doing something else. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I never really say, okay, I want to sit down and do this anymore, because it never works. I'm just like, well, I'll just see where it goes.
Well, that's the thing. It's got to be authentic, hasn't it? This is the thing. I've got to the point now, have been for a while. I'm not forcing anything.
Yeah.
If it's not coming out the way I feel like it should be, or it doesn't feel like it's real, I'm not going to do it, and I'm definitely not putting it out there.
Yeah,
because that's what people listen to you for, isn't it? They listen to hear your situation and hopefully connect with it.
Yep.
And if it's not authentic, what's the chances that's going to happen?
True.
Not.
Well, or
Gotta be
you
emotional.
could fake it and make it, but you ain't gonna last long. Or like authenticity is longevity, isn't it? Basically, the more you're authentic, the longer, as you say, people will resonate with what you're saying. And
100%.
then if they resonate with your first album and then come out with a second album, and it's like, okay, so, well, a lot like your songs, for example, you like come out with Stronger, and you're like, right, I'm here now, and now you've come out with Lessons, like, right, I'm here. So you've resonated with someone over 3 songs. So, and then to do that album wise, it's like, yeah, you got longevity because you're growing, they're growing, and well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. No, I get you. I was thinking about an album actually. I'm like, oh, am I going to do an album? Oh, I don't know.
Actually, to be honest, that was the next question I was gonna ask you. So let's walk down that little road.
Let's go down that alley, shall we?
Yeah. Hey, you open the door. Let's walk through it. Come on.
So is the question, am I going to do an album? Is that the question?
Well, it's not necessarily are you. I mean, is it some like is there any plans? Like, is a thought, like even a thought?
There's definitely a thought, but it wouldn't be like a full album. One, I just don't think I would need to do a full album. It would be like an EP, probably 4 to 5 songs max, which, you know, by definition an EP anyway.
Yeah.
I was gonna do one, and then that's when I was trying to like clear up my sound, and then rewrote. I had something that was ready to come out, and I just went, it's not it. Like, it's just not it. Like, and I was mentally in a bit of a place at the time where I was like, okay, am I going to put this out, and then I'm going to come back to it, and I'm going to think, I don't resonate with this anymore. Like, I was just like, it's not authentic. It's not me. I'm not putting it out. So there was an EP thought, and it's still there, but I don't have any immediate plans for it. If I'm completely honest, I feel like an EP or an album has to have a message. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, what's it about? And I'm like, I don't know, because they were all written at very different times in very different moods and emotions.
Yeah, but in a way, that in itself would be the message. The message would then just be growth as well, because you've written it at all different times. It's like, okay, look, you can see these different points of views, and now it's like, and then your last track will be like the present day type of thing, and it'd be like, look, these are all the views and the thoughts and everything that I've been through and all the actions I've taken. Then it's like, right, the last song is, and this is where it's got me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Actually, I don't know. I'm not. It's definitely not an immediate plan. I mean, I was supposed to have a music video shoot for Lessons. It was the weekend we went into lockdown. I was like, okay, that's not happening. So that's on the back burner for the moment. But yeah, I mean, it's just all. I don't know how you were in isolation. Like, it was a bit. I found inspiration quite hard, and I came down on myself really hard for it. Like, I felt really awful about it, but also, like I said earlier, like, I'm just not gonna. It has to be authentic, and I've started writing again and producing again, so I couldn't be happier. But EP is on the horizon, but I don't think it's going to be this year. I think it'll probably. I was thinking about springtime next year.
Yeah, that's good.
Depending, and do the rest of this year on gigging and stuff.
Hopefully, if anywhere opens and does do the gigging, otherwise you'll have to do like online gigs.
I hope so, because I was having somewhere booked for release date of Lessons, and then obviously that all went to shit. Okay. So I wasn't going to release it at one point. I thought, oh, maybe I'll just wait until this is over, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Been waiting for it for God knows how long, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's alright though. But I know, like with, well, what was it? When isolation started, I was in my last month of like my first year. So we then had to basically do everything on like Google Meet. That was so weird. But So yeah, so we did everything like over Google Meet and stuff like that, which is kind of how I still do some collaborations like now. Basically, we still do it over like Zoom or Google Meet. Yeah, when it started, and I was like, oh man, like I've basically just finished uni, and now this is gonna happen, and I know I'm probably gonna sink mentally back to how I was before I started uni,
Yeah.
and like so I'm basically just gonna waste all that growth that I've tried to build. And I was like, okay, right, I need something to do, and then that was when I had this idea, and just sort of said to my teacher, so this has basically just been taking up my time, really. Meetings with him, meetings with other people. Just I call it like going hunting on Facebook, because some people I got to search, like I've had to search for, just because
Really?
yeah, some people will submit something, I'll be like, man, I don't like that. Like I don't like that. I don't
What,
want
for
to
the
play
podcast?
that.
They don't want to play it.
And then it's like, right, I don't want to play that, so I need someone else, like I need something else. So yeah, I'll just like go hunting on Facebook, find someone, be like, look, this is what I'm doing, this is blah blah blah. And yeah, fortunately, like it's been paying off, but god damn is it hard. Like just
I don't doubt it.
I've literally just been focused on this, little bit of production, but nothing major. Like I said, like I only started last night on this competition thing I'm trying to do. So yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
about as far as my stuff has gone. I mean, I did a little beat for a friend who recorded some poetry, like a voice note of poetry, and I was like, oh shit, I quite like that, and then made a little beat over that, but nothing like quite spectacular.
I love voice notes, man. They're the best things.
Yeah, but people don't like sending me voice notes because they know that if I find the right voice note, I'm gonna sample it.
Noted.
Yeah, don't send me some philosophical like voice note, because I will sample it.
All of my songs have actually been from voice notes. All of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that way you say you
No,
would find
funny.
your in most of your inspiration.
Not so much my inspiration. It's just like the first thing I go to, because when I hear something, if I write it down, I will eventually forget the melody
Yeah.
or the rhythm, whatever you want to call it. Whereas in a voice note, I can just instantly, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I got it,
Ah, yeah,
cool. And then I can
you
just start
mimic.
recording and
Yeah.
go back. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, why have I done that? Yeah, like I've done a vibrato on a certain word. If I was to write that, I wouldn't remember that.
Yeah.
But if I do like, oh, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to do it now because
Oh no,
that's not what we're here
I
for.
definitely know what you mean. Like a lot of people do. I think my brother does something like that as well. I know a lot of people that do like you just said, sort of record themselves singing it, or record the melody, or maybe a drum, like they'll beatbox a drum pattern or something like that. So
yeah, it's
and
exactly what I do. Even chords on a guitar, I'm like, okay, I can hear it. I know it's like a B, and even if I can't do it in a B vocally, I'll go B at the end of it, guitar, and then like sort of make the noise, and then go back to it, and then I'll like just mimic it
yeah,
and actually do it properly. But I mean, Charlie Puth's album Voice Notes was done on voice notes, so I mean, it's not to say that it can't be done.
oh no,
I think
definitely,
it's quite
like
popular.
if you do something like that, or I don't know, you might be a random voice note that someone sent you that inspires you or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
most of the time, like if I need a little boost or something, I'll go and find someone that randomly talks a lot of like philosophical stuff, and I'll be like, right, what's in the voice notes today? And then
Yeah.
most of the times it'll be some random snippet, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm sampling that. I don't care.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's that's
100%.
that's where I find most of my samples, and then most of my inspiration just comes from like just random or random people's moaning on Facebook. I love that sort of stuff. That's
Random people's moaning.
yeah, random people just moaning, and you're like, okay, I could do that. Or watching documentaries on Netflix, and you'd be like, okay, so like for example, there's like you know me, I'm not a gangster at all, but I watched this
I don't know.
but Hey, how I do business is how I do business. All right, that's that's where we're gonna leave that. But
Yeah, we'll leave that one there.
yeah,
just in case.
yeah, in case like the tax man comes and gets me. But yeah, there's a series called Dope, which is about like how they smuggle drugs.
I love that series.
From like well, you know how they get it from Colombia to like Miami.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, so I sat there, watched it, and I was taking notes, and then I just turned it, and then I turned it into
Why? So you can start your own cartel?
Fuck yeah. Hey, what was? Oh
I tell you
man,
what,
hang on.
illegal money's easier to make.
I think it came up on my Snapchat today, or was it yesterday? Hang on, let me quickly check, because yeah, here you go. So what? A million in Colombian pesos or pesos or something is $330.
Is it?
I was like,
Yeah, it is actually.
bruh, I'm going to Colombia.
we went for dinner because we've been to Mexico twice now because it is possibly my favorite place in the world. We went for dinner, and you look at you forget the price difference, and then you look at the menu like, shit, my god, how much for a burrito? That's a joke.
Yeah.
What? And then you realise, and you're like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, god damn, get the money up, retire in Mexico or something. I don't know, but
I genuinely would retire in Mexico, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Beautiful. It's an incredible country. Obviously, there is the corruption side of it.
Oh,
but
yeah, well, you get it anywhere. Fucking hell.
yeah, I mean, you get that
it's more famous over there, but yeah.
Yeah, they're just a bit more brutal.
Yeah, so with that series, I took down notes from like the drug dealer's point of view, the addiction point of view, and the police point of view, and I just turned it straight into a song. Like,
that's sick.
Yeah, three different views. I was like, all right, cool, and that was it. I haven't written a chorus for it though, because I don't know how to sum it up. But
show me.
Yeah, just random little things like that, and like taking notes and shit like that, because I'm weird. But
it's good though.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah,
it's a good thing that you can do that.
Now I've got a song about dealing dope, and I don't even deal dope. You know what I mean?
You should try and sell it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically it, mate. That's all I got. They were my little questions.
There's your little questions. Well, no, thank you very much for having me on. Nice.
Mate, thank you.
Nice. It was good fun.
Gotta say as well, if you want, do the same thing in 6 months as a sort of progression sort of thing.
See how it's moved on. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Sign me up, pal.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then. What is that? That's Jim Carrey, isn't it?
Yeah. When he does that Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right then, mate.
No worries. Thank you for having me on. It's nice to speak to you.
Yeah. But hang around while I quickly wrap this up, and I'll talk to you about the uni thing.
Cool.
Yeah? All right.
Cool.
Now I've got to do another one of those embarrassing things. All right. All right. And that was Emilia Hart. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that, because I know I did. Peace.